Hi everyone, welcome to another action-packed episode of Scryfall Shenanigans. So, bit of a throwback episode for this one. So we're back to the things themselves. When I first started doing this series, I tended to look at certain types of cards in certain sets, and that's what I'm going to do here. This has been planned for a long time. Actually, I just decided between this episode and the last time I did a sort of look at an old school set and specific card types, I sort of filled in a load of other things I wanted to do. So we're back to this now. And that means we don't have many cards, which is always nice because it means we can go down all sorts of interesting side quests. So I'm going to look at the cards just overall. We've got 13 cards from the dark. We're looking at non-aura enchantments. I will quickly look to show you what aura enchantments were around in the dark, although they weren't called auras back then, and you'll see how they're represented. But just really in passing, this episode I'm purely going to focus on just plain vanilla enchantments, and then we'll have a look at maybe changes, stuff that's been errated. We'll go through the different rarities, get up nice and close. We've got caster mode on, so we should get really nice high res card images. Looking nice and close. Have a look at what they're like on the sort of EDH popularity scale. And then we'll finish it off by sort of drilling down through certain cards, having a look at some of the tags. So that's the way it's going to play out. So 13 cards we have: Fasting, Dance of Many, Deep Water, Flood, Mana Vortex, Psychic Allergy, Sunken City, Season of the Witch, Worms of the Earth, Blood Moon, Gaia's Touch, Hidden Path, and a multicoloured one, Dark Heart of the Wood. I do love the look of these dark cards. Something about them. And if you're curious, these are the auras, or at the time they were just referred to as enchant whatever. So we've got Brainwash enchant creature, Erosion enchant land, Tangle Kelp enchant creature, Curse artifact enchanted artifacts, Goblin Caves enchanted a land, as did Goblin Shrine, and Venom enchanted a creature. And in this episode, that's the last time I'm going to talk about the auras. So price wise, and if we look at the price as they are in the dark printings, the most expensive enchantment in the dark is this one, Blood Moon. Banned in Historic. Non-basic lands are mountains. Slightly simplified from all non-basic lands are now basic mountains. It's been reprinted a few times. I tend to forget that it did crop up in 8th edition. And I'm trying to remember whether I do actually... Oh, I do, don't I? Yes, because I'm pretty sure, an episode's gone out prior to this one. It's always tricky remembering when I shop for certain videos because I'm a little bit ahead of myself. But thinking about it, that's right. The timing's right. This was completely accidental, so it was rather fortunate that I waited to do this episode, because previous to this one, I'm pretty sure this card was featured in a Modern Masters 15 cards episode that I did. So yeah. Okay, you can see the artwork's quite different actually, but we'll get a bit closer in a moment. Possibly, although it might be about the same size as this, thinking about it. Season of the Witch 22, 28. So at the end of each player's turn, all of his or her untapped creatures that could have attacked but did not are destroyed. If you do not pay 2 life during your upkeep, Season of the Witch is destroyed. Effects that prevent or redirect damage may not be used to counter this loss of life, which has now been errated to: at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this enchantment unless you pay 2 life. At the beginning of the end step, destroy all untapped creatures that didn't attack this turn, except for creatures that couldn't attack. So it's made it easier to understand. And it looks like this has been, reordered, doesn't it? Mana Vortex. So when you cast this spell, counter it unless you sacrifice a land. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a land of their choice. When there are no lands on the battlefield, sacrifice this enchantment. Okay. $14, but so this one and this one, they've never been reprinted in paper. This did crop up in Masters Edition 3, but haven't we got a problem generally around this time because of just what cards would be on that list that won't allow. They're not going to do reprints. Anyway, let's just go back. Mana Vortex, Hidden Path. I like the artwork for this. When I look at this up close, green creatures have Forest Walk. There you go. $8. Worms of the Earth. Oh, there we go. Players can't play lands. Wow, that's a bit of a disaster. Lands can't enter the battlefield. At the beginning of each upkeep, any player may sacrifice 2 lands of their choice or have this enchantment deal 5 damage to that player. If a player does either, destroy this enchantment. Okay. It's rather a mean card. It'd be interesting to look at the tag on that. Dance of Many. When this enchantment enters, create a token that's a copy of a target non-token creature. Okay. When this enchantment leaves the battlefield, exile the token. When the token leaves the battlefield, sacrifice this enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this enchantment unless you pay 2 blue. Okay, so you've got this interesting enchantment that's tied to a token that it generates, which is a copy. Put into play, choose a target summon creature in play, then put a token creature in play and treat as if you've just brought an creature into play. Summon use play, move token creature from game. If a token creature leaves play, destroy Dance of Many. Pay 2 blue during upkeep, Dance of Many is destroyed. $6, but there is both a Chronicles version and a 5th edition. Oh, there's a secret lair drop as well called Dance Battle. Gaia's Touch, $4.18. 0. You may put a basic forest card from your hand onto the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery and add only once each turn. Sacrifice the enchantment, add 2 green. Yeah, we put 1 additional land. Okay, so that's how they're doing it here. Okay. Psychic Allergy. As this enchantment enters, choose a colour. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, this enchantment deals X damage to that player, where X is the number of non-token permanents of the chosen colour they control. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy this enchantment unless you sacrifice 2 lands Wow, these have a lot going on. And in fact, the errata text in some of these seems to be more detailed than the original text. 340. Flood. 2 blue, target non-flying creature becomes tapped. 2 blue, tap target creature without flying. Okay, so there was a 4th edition version, 5th edition, and it was in the Battle Royale box set. Only 172. Fasting. You may choose to skip your draw phase. If you do, you gain 2 life. If you draw a card for any reason, fasting is destroyed. During your upkeep, put a hunger counter on fasting. When fasting has 5 hunger counters on it, it is destroyed. Okay. Joyous enchantment. Okay, so we've got some sort of life gain shenanigans here. At the expense of not being able to draw a card. And it can also blow up if it has 5 or more hunger counters on it. So does that stop it getting out of control? Yeah. Dark Heart of the Wood. Sacrifice the forest. You gain 3 life. Oh, yeah, I can see what's going on here. We'll have a close look at that. You may sacrifice a forest to gain 3 life. Counts as both a black card and a green card. So yeah, that's interesting. The reminder, well, the rules part, which reminds you that it's counts as both a black card and a green card. I wonder how many other cards have that on it in Magic back then. Because you can see they don't even bother it with the errata text, it's just a given. Yeah, oh yes, this version from Ravnica City of Guilds. Sunken City was reprinted in 4th. 2 blue, at the beginning of upkeep, sacrifices enchantment unless you pay 2 blue. Blue creatures get +1/+1. Deep Water, 2 blue. Blue until end of turn. If you tap a land you control with mana, it produces blue instead of any other type. Okay, there we have it. So let's zoom in on these and take a little bit closer look at the artwork. What do we want? I reckon that's about right. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Rather grim looking hammerhead there. And our sunken boat here. Is that looks suspiciously like some tentacle thing coming out, like octopus or a squid. Maybe another maybe it's like giant cuttlefish. Oh, I see. So this, yeah, I'm thinking, well, I can't see much of a cityscape here, but I'm assuming this is the cities were in these columns, maybe. That was pretty creepy. That was the only, is that the only version? Yeah, the online one. So only version in paper. Yeah, and then you have two, you have a heart there, It's connected by this sort of pulse or plasma or I don't know. Oh, there we go. It's nice and close. It's rather a creepy looking sapling there. Okay, so moving on to the uncommons. So that was the commons, this is the uncommons. So yeah, just two here, fasting and flood. Oh, there we go. I reckon I didn't spot this before. This is pretty straightforward here. So we've got a rather pious looking individual here. I don't know if they're sitting in prison or contemplating in their cell of worship, but this is interesting. So let me just bring this up a little bit. So there's a little cat up a tree. I think it's a cat, and then this person sitting on top of their house. It reminds me of another. I'm trying to even remember what the name of the card is now. But this rather sort of creepy-looking hooded villager, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of the card. I think it's a creature card, and it's a green one. Yeah, it's in an early Magic set. It's pretty nice. Cloud formation here. Do we dare get even cloud? Oh, yeah. Oops, our caster mode is in the way. It's the only thing, it makes that larger as well when you do it. Yeah, too big. Yeah, it looks, I think that's pretty much Kitty. Poor Kitty's stuck up a tree. It looks like it's got something in its paws. I don't think, yeah, no, is it? This looks like a tail here. But I can't quite tell here whether this is a single character or whether it's two. Interesting. I don't know if there's anything else going on in this one. I don't think so. Okay. So this is just sort of some, I don't know, there's all sorts of things going on here. We've got, it's almost like seahorse-like in some ways, but then we've got this head part that's very reminiscent of a slug. And then these strange, well, this one's got like 3 wings almost. On these steps. So for this was the one that was reprinted a couple of times. Same there. There's the scary secret drop one. Oh yeah, there we go. Secret layer drop. Oh, there we go. Mana Vortex. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's better. Psychic Allergy, rather creepy. Oh, okay, so yeah, you can easier to see the face in the mirror now. Again, the colouring on here does remind me of another card. I'll go back to that in a moment. This is pretty cool. with this sort of like skull here in the background. Worms of the Earth, rather unsettling. And then Blood Moon, which, as we saw, this version, if you look at a later one, so it was reprinted in 9th edition, which has this style. And from a distance, this is, I mean, I suppose even close up, it does have echoes of a skull to me. Maybe I just see skulls everywhere. I'm not too sure. There was a Chronicles version of it then, $7. So yeah, 27 Modern Masters. Yeah, I mean, I quite like this new style artwork actually. I think out of all of these, this might be my favourite. I'm not too sure what these are supposed to be. I mean, initially they were looking like drawings on the trunk of the tree, but then this one spills over, I think, because this here is just like a sunbeam coming in from left to right. So this looks like, it's almost like these are sort of free floating symbols, almost like sort of will-o'-the-wisp, but forming these shapes. Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice gnarly forest. Now there was one I wanted to go back to, because this, I was curious as to what other cards have been done by this artist. Where's it gone? Okay, so quite a lot. What are the oldest ones? So if I do is first printing. So Abyssal Gatekeeper, and we do it by release dates, ascending. Oops. Did I inadvertently not that's better. See if I can find the one that I'm thinking of. There is just one that it reminds me of. Nev's Disc and Manival. Soul Ring, right. Winter Orb, Wooden Sphere, okay, I've got some classics here. It wasn't this one I was thinking of, although this turns up on quite a few things, like it's on one of the encyclopedias that I've got. I've got City of Brass, wow, yeah. Ashnod's Transmigrant, how do you say that? Feldon's Cane, wow. Oh, Urza, yeah. Power Plant. Oh yeah, 3 pieces of artwork. 4 pieces of artwork for the Power Plant. Right. Lifeblood. That was probably Abomination, I reckon. is the one I was trying to think of. I also did Jern. Lord Magnus, Lord Magnus. First strike. Creatures with plains or forest may be blocked as if they did not have either ability. These early legends do amuse me. I wonder how much that is. 358. White, green. Oh, mana matrix. The batteries, yeah. So. Oh, and Leviathan, Mind Bomb, wow. Clash Dark Sphere. Horrid. Right. Mark 10 did Mind Stab Throw. At least one of the pieces of artwork anyway. And Delif's going, wow. Huh. Oh, and Mana Crypt. That's funny. Wow, oh crikey, there's loads of classics here. Necropotence, Thought Leech, excuse my tummy, Memory Lapse, two different versions of artwork. Yeah, because we're around the period of Homelands here, so multi-artwork. Wow, so a lot of these are pretty creepy. I was thinking of as well, Death Spark. Yeah, Abyssal Gatekeeper. Chaos Confetti. It looks nice in these sort of borders as well, doesn't it? Like that. Yeah. Whatever this period is. I don't know if this was actually the next iteration of the borders. Still old borders, but, you know, like a slightly different look. I'm trying to remember for what period the really old borders were used. Wasn't it? Was it 93 through to about 97, 98? Is that right? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure though. It's difficult, isn't it, to tell for sure. It just looks I don't know, slightly sharper once we get into this era. There's just something about them just seems to make things pop a little bit more. Oh, this is cool. This would be from what? Starter. Yeah. Cinderstorm. Oh, I'm enjoying this episode. We haven't even got to the end yet. It's funny though, because I remember when I first started playing, you know, it was the era of, you know, the modern borders. First sets I opened would be 10th edition, as I think I've said. And I didn't really like the old look cards once I saw a few. But it's funny, over time I've come to really like them. And particularly this period. So really the period where they do tend to look slightly crisper. I don't know if that's just my imagination or whether they changed something about the artwork, but they always look slightly crisper, and that would be from about sometime around Urza's through to the set before 8th edition, because 8th edition I think was the first time we had the newer borders. Yeah. Was it the case they also... It's almost like they... And it might just be the scans, possibly. That's the other thing. Of course, we're looking at scans of things here. But, yeah. Not sure whether it does tend to look a little bit crisper. Or not. It's hard to tell, isn't it? With a lot of these. I'd have to probably properly look at cards from similar. Looks like, and again it could be a scanning thing, but if we go back to this period, I mean certainly isn't it the case that are there any multicoloured cards we can look at? Did the multicolour border change a bit? I'm not sure. But it certainly looks like the artifact border, the colour changed on that. Yeah, I'm not sure really. Yeah, anyway. Okay, moving on. Right, where are we now? Let's just scale this down a bit because this was, yeah, so EDHRec ranking. So Blood Moon comes out on top. Gaia's Touch, Dance of Many, Mana Vortex, Blood Moon. Let's just go down one more. There we go. Okay, 3% of Dex. Cube Cobra. That's better. Soul Ring. Gaia's Touch. Oh yeah. So only one card is above the magical 1%. I could just let it. What's this in? Would this be good in? What combos have we got? Astral Dragon, Dance of Many. Dance of Many, Fildor Guardian. So the other one I was curious about is if there's any... What does this belong in, if anything? Oh, right. Atog deck. Sort of 5 and 4 colours. Not many copies. And certainly in here at least no combos. What's it similar to? Okay. All the words. A bit of a side quest here. I was just curious. Words of Worship, 2 and a white. Next time you would draw a card this turn, you gain 5 instead. Scourge Familiar, Flying. Leash's Mastery must be on the battlefield. Words of Worship must be on the battlefield. You have at least one card in hand. Okay. What have we got? During your draw step, before you draw a card, activate Words of Worship by paying 1, causing you to gain 5 life the next time you would draw a card this turn. Move to draw a card. Instead, gaining 5 life during Words of Worship. Mastery first trigger. Ability triggers, holding priority. Activate Scourge Familiar by discarding a card, adding black. Activate Words of Worship by playing 1, causing you to gain 5 life the next time you will draw a card this turn. Resolve Leash Mastery, causing you to draw 4 cards and gain 5 life. 6. Repeat from step 3. Infinite card draw, infinite draw triggers, infinite self-discard triggers, near infinite black mana, near infinite life gain, near infinite life gain triggers. Okay. So going back, what's interesting here. So deep water. So look at this. Blue instead of normal mana until end of turn. Scryfall trigger. So yeah, it is a mana filter. Okay, I was curious if it was anything else. And yeah, mana filters have been around for an awful long time in all sorts of guises, and you can see we've gone down the whole mana dork rabbit hole once before, because I think that's the one that always used to interest me, because of mainly, let's put this in release day order. Whoops, where's it gone? Yeah, the initiates. And what's the other one that does a similar thing? Yeah, so there's initiate as well. Bog initiate. This is cool artwork. And there's chromatic sphere. So I like this old style artwork. And then we have the attendants. You tend to forget about these. So one for each of the corresponding namesake dragons. And if we come in here, yeah, Dragon Attendant, there are quite a number of namesake spells over the years. Oh yeah, tentacles. I thought as much. My suspicions are confirmed. There's a bit of tentacle shenanigans going on here. Season of the Witch. Wasn't that the sort of subtitle for the third Halloween movie? Halloween 3, Season of the Witch? Is that right? Sweeper creature destroy. What could go wrong? Blood Moon. The Blood Moon effect. So, how many of these are enchantments? Let's just cycle through these. So, type enchantment. Yep. Conversion, Blood Moon, Infernal Darkness, Chaos Moon, Ritual of Subdual, Glaciers, Contamination, Blood Sun, Alpine Moon, and Lithoform Blight. And then, if we look at creatures, ignore this one, this is from Alchemy. So we're only thinking about paper cards. Oh, there's Mages of the Moon, Harbinger of the Seas, and Gaia's Liege. Okay. Instant. Pale Moon. Oh, I like that. Very nice. Ah. Circle of Protection. Fire. Okay. Baron Singir. There's Afterlife and Lake of the Dead, Heart of Yavimaya. Phyrexian Dreadnought, Necromancy, okay. Orcish Settlers, funny. Ensnaring Ridge, yes, of course. Wow, more classics here. Carnifage, Survival of the Fittest. Oh, Befoul. I think we featured that in a No Hand No Land episode. I think I have one of those somewhere. There's an incubator. How much is that now? $18. There's Pale Moon. A Massacre. There's quite a number of cards here I recognise. Phyrexian Arena. Oh yeah. Qatar's Desire. Ancestors Chosen. And we got some slivers as well. Oh yeah, Tendrils of Agony. Wrenchmine, wow. Tendrils of Agony. Wrenchmine, I'm pretty sure that came up in the No Hand No Land episode as well. Oh wow, some classics here. What's the most recent ones then? Oh, Ether Drift. Spine Sculptor. Corpse Cur, wow. Oh yeah, there's Plummet from Arch Enemy. Remember some of these. Good old Bonesaw. And one of the border posts. It's pretty creepy. Okay. Nice. path. All green creatures gain forest walk. Now, this, does this effect have, that's the word I was trying to think of, anthem effects. Yeah. Adaptive automaton, glorious anthem. How was it? Yeah. Glorious anthem. How many times has that been reprinted? Yeah, this is the artwork I remember because it was intense. But it first came out as a saga. Well, these are pretty nice. It's been in a few other. Well, it's M21. Any other core sets? Not really. So we had a run from what's Urza's 7th. Nice foil version. 8th edition. 9th edition. So these must be. Isn't it the case if it's black bordered, then it must be the foil version? I think. Yeah. I think that's right. Back then anyway, before we had black bordered core sets. Is there such thing as a flood effect? Oh, carefully retainer as it's stapled to it. Repeatable crime. It's an interesting tag. Not one I've come across before, I don't think, in this series. Of course, I've done so many of these now, generally, or these sort of Scryfall, not just Scryfall Shenanigans, but Leave reading Scryfall now. I probably wouldn't be able to remember. But yeah, very interesting tag. Oh, there's Squeeze Toy. Sigil of Sleep. Lid Looter, yeah. Tooth and Scale. Creepy looking spirit. Yeah, these spirits are pretty creepy. Oh, Stasis Cell. Dimir Guildmage. Wow. All have crime effects on them. What's the most recent crime effect? Izumi Link Breaker. When it dies, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Wow. There's a lot of cards here I've completely forgotten about, like Tyrant's Machine. I like the artwork on that. Although, 4 to tap a target creature. It is repeatable, but even so. Sky Games. Oh, Falkenrath Noble. There's Shriekhorn. Relic of Progenitus, yeah. Repeatable crime, there we go. Who would have thought? I think I'll stop it there, that's really interesting. So thanks once again for watching. If you have any other suggestions for slicing and dicing of sets or types, let me know. Yep, and I will try and oblige. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.